Okay, guys, so for this very first question, it's literally just from your notes. So if I'm multiplying two things together and they both have an exponent, that just means I am adding them together. So it's bm plus n. For the second one, the power rule, that is b to the m times n. For the third one, the quotient rule, that's b to the m minus n. A negative exponent just means I put everything under, like, if it's on the top, then it goes on the bottom of the fraction bar. Anything to the 0 power is just 1, and this one you just spread out the m's. So a to the m, b to the m. Okay, for the second one, I'm going to go ahead and simplify out the 108. So I have 2 and 54. I have 2 and 27. I have 3 and 9, and I have 3 and 3. So I have a pair of 2s, a pair of 3s, and 1 3 left over. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's, and then I want everything to be to the second. So I have a pair and a pair. So that tells me that I'm going to put everything in the circles on the outside. So I have this 7 to begin with. So 7 times 2 times 3, x to the, how many circles do I have? 2. So x squared radical 3. So let's go ahead and multiply that out. 7 times 2 is 14 times 3 is 42. X squared radical 3. Okay, the next question, we're doing the same exact thing again. So we have 512. We have, we can simplify that by 2. So 2 and 256. 2 and 128. 2 and 64. 2 and 32. 2 and 16, 2 and 8, and then 2 and 4, and then 2 and 2. Okay, so looking at this is to the fifth, so that tells me I want to have 5 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's one group. And then down at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those all are going into boxes. Box, box, box. Okay, and then we have 9 P's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go ahead and circle that. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 P's left over. So that tells me on the outside, I'm putting everything in circles. So 2, and then a P. Fifth root. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that is 16. P to the fourth. Okay, for the next one, write it as radical form. Okay, so thinking about this, radical form, the number that is on the bottom of your fraction goes out in front of the radical. So I have 3 radical, or like cubed root, of 27 to the 5th power. So you can give it to me like this, or you can go ahead and do 27 to the 5th power, which would be cube root of 1, 4, 3, 4, 8, 9, 0, 7. Either one of those I will take. Okay, for the next one, rewrite the expression using a radical in your final answer. Okay, so let's go ahead, and on the top we have the power or product rule. So that means we're going to add all of our exponents together. So 1 plus a half plus a half. That would be x squared on the top. Over the bottom we have power or product rule. So that tells me I'm going to multiply these two together. So x to the 3 over 2 times 2 is 4. So I have that now. Then we're going to go ahead and subtract. So I have 2 minus 3 over 4. So that tells me, well, we can make that into 4s. So that would be 8 over 4 minus 3 over 4. 8 minus 3 is 5 over 4. So we have x 5 over 4. Now, they said they wanted it in a radical form, so that tells me it is the fourth root of x to the fifth power, because 4 came from the bottom, the 5 went on the inside. Okay, your next one, again, evaluate the following rational expression. All I want you to do is just write it in radical form. So we have the fifth root of 32 to the seventh power. Okay, 32 to the seventh power is gonna be fifth root of 3, 4, 3, 5, 9, 7, 3, 8, 3, 6, 8. Now we're going to take the fifth root of that. The fifth root of that is going to give us just 128. You can do that on a calculator. You can use Desmos and type that in. It'll give you the same thing no matter what. Okay, next one. Evaluate the following rational expression. Make sure to write your answer in fraction form. Okay, so we have a negative. That means everything's going on the bottom. So really I have 1 over 9 to the 8 fourths. There are two different ways that you can do this. You can either look and say, okay, 8 divided by 4 is just 2. So then 9 squared is 81. Or you could look at it and say, okay, I have 1 over the fourth root of 9 to the 8th. Now, they want me to actually answer this question. So it would just be 1 over 81. Or if you wanted to do it as a decimal, you shouldn't, but just in case, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this is what it's actually asking for because it says to write it in fraction form. Okay, on the next one, let's go ahead. We have power rule, so 3 squared is 9. X to the negative 8 over 3, okay, x to the third, x to the 6th, so that would be x to the 9th, y to the negative 2nd. So looking at this, we have a 9 on the top, we have a 3 on the bottom. This negative 8, I'm going to move it down to the bottom, so 9 minus negative 8. That'll be x to the 17th. And then the negative 2 just means I'm going to flip what side it's on, so it becomes on the top. So 9y squared, 3x to the 17th, which is the same thing as saying the 9 and the 3 are going to cancel out. So that's going to go away. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So my final answer is 3y squared over x to the 17th. So that is what we are looking for. For the next one, simplify the following thing. Okay, so x to the 11th, y to the 3rd, all to the 0. Anything to the 0 power is just 1. So we have 1 times z to the negative 12th. Now, I want a positive exponent, so that tells me I have 1 over z to the positive 12th. Because remember, anything that's negative, you just switch what side of the fraction bar it is sitting on. For the next one, let's go ahead and multiply out that negative 2. So we have 4 to the negative 2nd, q to the negative 2nd, h to the positive 6th over 12, q to the 8, h to the 8, which means that I'm going to have 4 squared is 16, so I have 16 times 12. I'm going to move this 2 down to the bottom, so 8 plus 2 is q to the 10th, and then that's a 1 on the top. The 6, so 8 minus 6, so that is h squared. Okay, so 16 times 12 equals 1 over 192, q to the 10th, h to the 2nd. Write the equivalent expression given in radical form. Again, it's a negative, so it moves down to the bottom, so we have 6 over 5. In radical form, that'll be 1 over the 5th root of 12 to the 6th. Or you could tell me that it is 1 over the 5th root of 8, 5,984. I prefer the regular radical one, but you can do it the other way. It wouldn't really change anything. For the very last one, we are simplifying the following the square root. So 36, what's the square root of 36? You could look at it and just say 6. If you don't know, then it is 2 and 18, 2 and 9, and then 3 and 3. So pair of 3 pairs of 2s. So we have 6 times 2 times 3. We have 4 x's. So pair, so that's x squared. And then we have y to the third, so that's 3 y's. So that tells me that I'm going to have a pair of y's and 1 y left over. So y radical. We have nothing that's in a box number-wise, but we just have a y on the inside. So 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. X squared y radical y. Okay, so that's really all that we are looking for. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email and I can help you out.